Welcome to our new series, the 200 Movie Challenge. Our goal this year is to watch 200 movies that we haven't seen yet. If you want to listen to the full podcast where this clip is from, the link will be in the description. Now enjoy today's movie. Welcome to episode 11. Or wait, are we on 12? Actually, I can't count. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12. I am so sorry about that. I even counted that earlier. Welcome to episode 12 of the 200 Movie Challenge. Where if you don't know what's going on, me and Soto are trying to watch 200 combined movies that we have not seen yet. Soto,
Sure are.
and we're doing well. We are chugging right along.
Yeah, quarter two. Here we go.
Quarter
Start of
two.
quarter
We're almost
two.
there. I feel like 12. That's the end of quarter one. Maybe technically 13 because 13 weeks, but whatever. I think at the end of this though, we will be a fourth way done our movies, but we're gonna get to that in a moment. But Soto, yeah, this past, what was it, Tuesday was April Fool's, and I kind of said, wouldn't it be funny if me and you chose each other's movies, just like one movie as a joke?
Mhm.
Just like, all right, you have to watch this, no questions asked, which you've actually suggested a couple movies to me before, but, like under 2 hours, but it also has to be something you've seen. Just because that way I would just not give you like the worst movie ever. It's like something I watched that I wanted you to see and vice versa. So we had a little fun with that. And we're going to start with the movie that you chose for me.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
So I kind of have to ask. So, yes, you chose for me the 2009 movie Black Dynamite.
Black Dynamite.
Black Dynamite! Before I get into my review, Soto, because I don't know if you're going to like my review or not, why did you choose this movie for me? I'm just curious. Why?
Well, because what I had originally wanted to send you was not available for free, and you haven't seen this movie. When it becomes for free, I will make you watch it.
What movie
But
is
the
that?
movie
Can I ask?
You can, yeah. The movie is called. It's Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon.
Okay.
With Bruce Leroy and Sho'nuff, and it's like, I'm telling you, it's an '80s awesome cheese movie. It's actually kind of a little bit on the rotten taste side of things because
Ooh.
it's not rated well, but to me, it's a fucking classic. But that was my first thing that I was gonna send you. But as far as why I sent you Black Dynamite, we've talked a lot about this kind of a movie. In other podcasts we've done, and Rotten Taste, and specifically Robin Hood Men in Tights, is that they don't make silly movies anymore that are just dumb, where they have these kind of just like obvious jokes and things like that are not really to be taken seriously. And um I had remembered that Black Dynamite was one of those movies, and Black Dynamite is still one that I go back to, and I see memes about it and everything, and it makes me laugh. And so um I know it's not the kind of movie you like. I know Jill is big into fucking Kung Pao, which I think is one of the dumbest fucking movies I've
Oh,
ever
I agree.
seen.
I
Um,
100% agree on
but
that.
like, because I get what Kung Pao is doing, but it's not funny to me, like at all. Like, I guess there are some redeeming parts of Kung Pao, but I just feel like it just didn't land for me. And
So I
and
only laughed
honestly,
once at that movie, and I can remember the part. It was in the beginning, but after that, I was like,
like
and
I
I got
get
what he was
it,
trying to
like
do. But anyhow,
I get it, but it was like kind of like a little bit over the top for me. And you may feel that way about Black Dynamite, but to go back to our overall kind of thing that we've been talking about for a long time, they don't make movies that are just you just put on and they're dumb and you laugh and it is what it is. And and I feel that Black Dynamite was kind of like that movie. And when I saw that it was free and I saw that it was leaving soon, um I had to jump on it, and I saw that you did not have it on your watch list on Letterboxd, so
yeah, this is
um,
true.
I had to send it your way, man.
Well, you have sent a couple movies my way, which I didn't have to watch, but I did. But yeah, so I did not know much about this movie going into it. So I was like, all right, I know nothing. I like to be surprised. It was under 2 hours. Actually, I think it was under an hour and a half. I think this is a short one, which thank you. Um, and yeah, at first
Is it really that short?
I think so. I could be wrong. I just felt like it was shorter. It wasn't hit 2 hours. I could have sworn it was 90. Anyhow, that doesn't matter. Then I saw that it was, at first I thought it was based on an anime. Then I realized the anime series came out after this. because that was,
Oh, there's an anime series?
there is. I think it came out 2012, 2013, with a lot of these people doing the same voices. I think there's like 2 or 3 seasons. And so obviously I looked into it a little bit. Um, and I thought that was why you chose this for me, because it was based on an anime series. And I'm like, oh, but it came out after the movie. So yes, this is a parody movie. Um, in a weird way, it's like a parodies black exploitation films while being
Yes.
one. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, it starts off with a weird malt liquor ad, and I'm like, and then lots of tits. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. Because I was like, I wasn't surprised, that surprised me. But yes, it was the last day in Tubi. So I'm trying to get into it, Soto. And at first I'm like, okay, the kung fu was a little out there because obviously that's the type of film. Michael J. White, I loved him in a few things he's done. So I was hopeful. It started for some reason, Soto. I'll be honest with you. It started off slow for me. And it's weird to say because there was some good parts. Like the first part I laughed out loud at was one guy smacked the other guy, and it was a good real smack. And he looked at him like, "You son of," and then they cut to like a stunt double taking the slap, and I like, that shit. I was like, "Oh, they broke the fourth wall. I like this." But yeah, there's just a lot of other things. It just, I don't want to say dragged. It just, for me, didn't hit the mark. And
A
I know
short movie.
comedy is subjective. I will say the last half an hour, I felt like things picked up for me. Like I think I enjoyed the last third of this film a lot more than the rest of the film. But there was moments, like I'm not going to say this is a bad movie. Don't get me wrong. It's just not my style. Like the car going off the cliff and it explodes before it hits anything. I was like, okay.
Which is so classic.
And it's also got the dude from Dumb and Dumber in it, and I had to laugh at that. It had an interesting cast. Yeah. Again, I don't want to get into the plot of this because it's pretty absurd. And I don't know if I can even explain it all properly, but his brother gets
The
killed.
Black Dynamite. I sell drugs in the community.
Yes, that's it. Is his name actually Black Dynamite? Like, I'm like, does he have a real name? Because everyone's just like, Black Dynamite, Black Dynamite. Oh my God. Then there's a scene. Okay, so I think this is more towards the end, and I'm looking at my notes, and I'm just again, I think this had scenes I enjoyed, and like they're coming after the orphanage, and Black Dynamite just flipping his shit, not the orphans, and he's throwing kids out the window. He's like, orphans don't have families, like just random comments like that are so absurd, so over the top. That's kind of and I think when I watch like the Happy Time Murders, the puppet one, when they go way over the top and kind of, I'm like, I'm into it. But there's a lot of things that didn't hit on this. But yes, I did laugh at parts, but I will admit it took until the final third for it to get going where I'm like, I think I was laughing a bit more. Yeah,
Right.
definitely, like I said, it's definitely not my style. The whole idea that they're using the malt anaconda liquor to basically go against the African Americans and just make him have a small D. And I'm keeping this kind of
Yeah.
PG. I think it was hilarious. I'm like, and they're like, should we shoot him? Like, yes, let's put him out of his misery. So yes, there's very weird multiple plot points in this, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know if you can hit it all. Um, it's one of those movies where I'm going to remember certain scenes more than the movie itself.
Mm-hmm.
And again,
Yeah.
that's not saying it's bad
It's
or
not
it's good, but I will say
Ah,
it was, kind of like, I don't want to compare it to Kung Pao because I know you brought it up, but it's just, it didn't hit the mark. There were certain things that hit the mark, but overall it didn't. For me, and again, I get that this is some people's comedies. Comedy is very subjective to people, and I get that.
oh,
And I tried, and
100%.
obviously, like I said, this isn't like the worst thing I saw. But you also mentioned The Nice Guys, and I laughed at that. But I think that was just Ryan Gosling, and just being.
That was a
Yeah.
good. That was a good.
It was a good movie as well. They,
Like, that was-
it had
that was a
characters,
good
but there
movie,
was that
like,
kind
yeah.
of comedy and that flow. And Russell Crowe was great. And I know we talked about that, but this, I don't know. Like I said, it just wasn't hitting its mark in the beginning. I was a little bit worried. I'm like, God, when does, I was laughing at parts, but I'm like, is this going to get better? And it did. Like I said, the last third, I think just things were picking up when they were trying to solve the crime. And so, yeah, I mean, I will laugh. I know this, sounds like it's more one of your favorites than one of mine. But yeah, it wasn't, it missed the mark on some parts for me. So hold on, I'm trying to pull up my list right now. I didn't have that ready. So yeah, I was gonna rank this a little lower, but one I was like, oh man, this might be not good. But like I said, the last third when things were going, I was laughing. I was definitely laughing at the last part, so that definitely helped. I don't know if I probably won't ever see this with you unless somehow we're drunk and we're like it's on. I'm like, yeah, whatever, and we're making fun of it. But I did put this one spot under Terrifier. I it,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
it's above Wings, the 1927 film, and Tag. It was right there because again, I feel like
Love
it's
Tag.
what I'm going to remember. Yes, we won't. It's above Tag because I'm
The
not going to
tag
remember this
rule.
movie as a whole, but there's going to be certain scenes I'm just going to remember and just laugh at. Like I said, the stuntman scene, that cutaway, I don't know why I laughed. The breaking that fourth wall was just funny to me.
It's absurd.
It is absurd, and some of it hit, and just some of it didn't for me. Uh,
Yeah.
but the absurdity, I think, went up to a higher level towards the end, and I think that's why I was just loving it a little bit more. Like I said, the whole orphans, joke was just hilarious to me. Um, I'm just trying to remember some of the other ones. Oh God, I just had to look real quick because I had to write this down. The Nixon nunchuck fight.
Oh my god, I know.
I was like, you know what? I did not know I needed Rich Nixon with nunchucks in my life, but here we are. So again, I
Yeah.
was again towards the end I was laughing at that, but yeah, it did pick up for me towards the end, which helped it a little bit. But overall, yeah, it's not my type of movie. These kind of spoof movies are hard. They have to hit it out of the park, and maybe it's just I'm not big into this style of film, so the spoof didn't happen. But sidetrack? Do you know they're making a new scary movie? Do you know
No, like they're
what
rebooting it.
they're well? Marlon Wayans is returning. The Wayans brothers, I think, are directing it. I don't know if they're calling it Scary Movie 7, but there's actually a
Oh.
new scary movie coming out. What's the Wayans are
Well,
doing?
Scream is kind of back. I mean, you have Scream 6 on your list,
I
and
do, and Scream 7 is already in the
that
works.
that
So
does make sense. So there is like a kind of audience for it. But yeah, I think with these parody movies, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're right. Like it's not going to hit everybody the same way. Like I'm sure there's people that hate Robin Hood Men in Tights,
that's true. I
and
love
pretty
that.
much don't like the Mel Brooks sense of humor at all. Like I don't know how your daughter feels about these movies, and maybe these movies will kind of disappear into the ether once the younger people come through. But it's nice to watch a movie that doesn't take itself seriously, um, and is not long. Like those are two huge things. Like we used to watch movies that were dumb, like Scary Movie, and even with um, the way the original Scary Movie was done was so brilliant, and
Yes.
it captured it parodied Scream so well. And it got really dumb. Obviously, towards the end of our blockbuster career, there was a bunch of these stupid ass parody movies, and you just couldn't tell what from what. But I'll continue to say it, and I'll continue to do this as long as we record stuff. I do miss that genre, and I do wish it would come back in a good way, if that makes sense.
No, 100% agree. And I know I mentioned to you on Tubi, I know you own it, but they brought back Loaded Weapon 1. And if anyone hears this, go fucking see
Oh
National
yeah,
Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1. I might
yes.
watch, I know we've already seen it, but I'm like, I kind of want to watch that again. It's been so long. But you're back to your point, you're right. Parody movies in itself, it's hard because you have to parody something that people might be a fan of or understand. Like you mentioned Mel Brooks, like not just Men in Tights, but Spaceballs. If you love the Star Wars, you're gonna probably laugh at Spaceballs more. Where if you hate Star Wars, who knows? But I don't know. Like I said, I mean, there's some I love. I do love Mel Brooks. This just didn't hit the mark. It's not the worst. I would say I definitely laughed at parts, and I'm gonna remember some parts. Poor man got the little D and just got shafted. He got killed, and I was like, okay, okay, this is what happens. You drink the liquor, you get little D. It is all over for you. This is the way it goes. So
Oh, fuck all liquor, man. That shit will fuck you
yeah,
up.
I did
Look,
like the vibe at
no,
first with the thing in like the '70s feel at first. I was like, okay, I was digging this, but I think it just for me some of the good jokes just it took towards the end. Um,
Mhm.
but like I said, I still laughed apart. It's not the worst thing I've seen. It's not even the worst spoof movie because, like you said, they had a ton that came out in the 2000s, which were shit. So
that were just money grabs and kind of because comedy and horror, those tend to be the money grabs. People watch those. Um, but yeah, no, Black Dynamite. I don't think I own it. Um, It's not one of my favorite movies, but it's one of the last movies I saw. I believe that I remember working at Blockbuster Video. I rented it at Blockbuster Video. And so yeah, but again, it came up on Tubi, and I'd seen it, and I was in a rush. But when the next time I see that Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon's available, that's gonna be my fucking Uno reverse
You
card to
play it.
throw
Like
in.
I said,
So
I will watch a lot of what people suggest if I get a chance. So you can suggest whatever movie. I'm like, all right, I will do it. As long as you don't stick me with a three,
well,
4 hour movie.
I'll tell you that Barry Gordy's Last Dragon is better than Black Dynamite. Barry Gordy's Last Dragon is a quintessential awesome '80s movie, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says.